everybody has a different body and you have to pay attention to your body. For me, I found that slowing down, as I said, less is best, but finding that consistency and not so much of the intensity.
Welcome to the Woman's Doctor podcast, helping empower women to embrace their body and soul's full potential. I'm your host, Dr. Trevor Cates, and after 22 years of working with patients, I found the answers to our health struggles are much deeper than most people realize. To help explore this, I'm interviewing colleagues and other wellness experts to get to the root cause so women can realize their true beauty and be informed decision makers for themselves and their loved ones. What is the one thing that reduces the risk of premature death, dying from heart disease, diabetes, colon cancer, depression, anxiety, falls and fractures, weight issues, high blood pressure, and much, much more? It's exercise. But the key is balance, doing it right and not overdoing it. We want to age gracefully, and fitness is part of that path. So I asked today's guest, who is a model of this, to come on the show. At the youthful age of almost 58 years young, Arnita Champion is a social media personality, business owner, motivational speaker, IFBB professional figure competitor, Olympic trials finalist, and certified personal trainer. Arnita first became an athlete at the early age of 6 when she started running track. She continued on through high school, breaking records that remained to be unbroken in the 100 meters, 100-meter hurdle, and the long jump. Due to an Achilles injury, though, in 1996, she had to go undergo surgery, and it resulted in her hanging up her spikes. But that didn't stop her. Arnita knows that life also has its obstacles and barriers that must be cleared. As a motivator and fitness coach for over 15 years, she is a firm believer that change happens and manifests primarily in the ones who never quit or give up. Today, we talk about finding balance in fitness because if we don't exercise, we miss out on all the health benefits. But if we overdo it, we can hurt ourselves or develop health issues. Arnita explains how to strike a balance, especially as we age. This and much, much more on today's episode of the Woman's Doctor podcast. Arnita, it's so great to see you, hear you, have you on the Woman's Doctor podcast. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And it was such a pleasure interviewing you for the Hormones, Health, and Harmony docuseries, and can't wait to share your information with everyone.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. It was a blast. It was like an eye-opening. It was more of a peeling back the layers and seeing who you really are and seeing others for who they are. It was amazing. I love it. I can't wait to see the finished product, though.
We spent a lot of time going deep, in depth, and those interviews. Yes.
Yes. There were some points. There were some points where it was like, woof, woosah. Took me back.
Yes, absolutely. So today I want to talk with you a little bit first about, I think as we age, things change, right? And you're just the perfect example of graceful aging. If you want to share your age, I'm sure everybody would love to hear that. And if you're listening, you might want to hop over to YouTube and actually watch the video so you could see Arnita or check her out on Instagram, because you are definitely the picture of graceful aging. But it's, it takes a little bit of work, right? And a lot of things have changed over the years in the fitness space, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So tell us about that. What's that been like for you?
We always have that as we age. And of course, I'm not ashamed to say my age. I'll be 58 in June. So I'm grateful. I am like, yes. But as we age, a lot of things change, and you have to actually have a reality of that. Within the fitness industry, I've been in the fitness industry since I was young, All-American, world-class athlete, Olympic trial finalist. So you take on those accolades, and to let them go, it's kind of hard as you get older. But in the fitness industry, things are changing. Things are changing to in the aspect of more of a challenging, more of a pride, so to speak, more of a, I can do this. But, and I've tried that and it doesn't work. I tried to do what the fads are, what the trends are. You can do it temporarily, but for a lifestyle, that's not what it's about. And aging is about lifestyle because you age every day. So I found that in the fitness industry, you can see some things and your brain will say, you can do it. Remember, you used to be able to do it. And then your body actually takes on that exercise and you injure yourself. You are out for the count. Your self-esteem goes down. You begin to question your ability, your confidence. All of that goes down because you're trying to maintain a lifestyle that you used to have, that activity level that you were able to do when you were younger. And I found that less is better. In the fitness industry where I am, less is better. But you have to really look at who you are, that reality check to say, I used to could do that, but what I'm doing now is for the body that I have now. I have to take care of this body. And a lot of people don't want to do that because on social media, you can do an exercise for 10 seconds. It looks great. Woo! But when you put the sets to it, it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's be clear, you're still in amazing shape. I mean, you look great. And obviously it's not like you're just like sleeping in, you're not just sitting on the sidelines. You're definitely still going strong. It's just compared to what you used to do.
Yes.
It's like adjusting for our bodies and where we are in life. I mean, I think that sometimes I think we just feel like we need to just push and just push through and struggle through. And we forget to pay attention to the signals our body is giving us. And that when we go through certain phases of life, like when we're pregnant, like there's certain things you just can't do when you got a big belly in front of you. And then, if we get an injury and maybe we need to stick with things like swimming or biking instead of running. And, we have to modify what we do. And our body does give us signals that something we might need to change things a little bit. What have you personally been experiencing that has been kind of like a little bit of a wake up call if something needs to change?
This is a huge wake up call because it's an area where most people sleep on it because there are no symptoms. And I found that for me, of course, going to the doctor regularly as you age, with African-American women have more chances of dis-ease in their body. And I say dis-ease because it's not comfortable in their body. Something's telling you, but we put on the blinders and think, oh, it's nothing. For me, I was experiencing high blood pressure symptoms, but didn't even know it. I just thought, I have a headache. Okay. I'm real lethargic. I'm tired. Okay. I'm eating more. I'm finding that I'm craving more foods that I usually don't. And I just went to the doctor and I said, something's not right. And looking at my high blood pressure, looking at having high blood pressure, which was a major eye opener for me. Because of course, there are different reasons, genetics, foods that you eat, medications that you're on, and your inactive lifestyle. And I was surprised because I was like, wait a minute, foods I eat, vegan, okay, no. Exercise, I do that. What, African-American, what the heck? And then I was like, aging, what? But stress. And I was under tremendous amount of stress, physically, mentally, every area. And we take that for granted. women take that for granted. We hold stress in, and it was affecting my organs. It was affecting my ability to actually live how I want to live. So I find that when your body speaks to you as you gracefully age, you've got to listen to it. You can't say, "Ah, I'm okay, I'll keep doing it," because it'll catch up with you.
Yeah. And there are certain signs that the body gives us that are obvious. Like that's one of the reasons why I love skin is because it's
Yes.
right on the surface. It's like staring you in the mirror if you have skin issues. Like something has to change when you've got skin issues, right? Like,
Mhm.
no, and stress can be one of those things too. It can be food, it can be a lot of different things, underlying causes. But when it's something like blood pressure, you don't really know. A lot of people have no idea they're walking around with high blood pressure. And there are a lot of other things too, like osteopenia, osteoporosis, bone density. That's another one that a lot of women are walking around with and have no idea. But this is why it's so important to get checkups with your doctor and to, get your blood pressure checked, to have them listen to your heart and your lungs and do some blood work and do bone density tests and get these kinds of things done so that we can see what's going on in our bodies.
Yes.
And as much as we think, oh, we are just not going to change with age, Arnita, you and I were like, oh, we could do all the things we did at 20.
Everything,
Everything.
everything.
And a certain in certain ways that is true.
Mhm.
But there's some things that we need to modify,
Yes,
right? And
yes,
there's some things about being in our 20s that we're so glad we're not there. But
exactly.
yeah.
I think for me, modifying what I used to do for exercising, I used to go hard. My mantra, my motto is fight for it, fight for it. But there's a way that you choose your battles. Fighting for it means you fight the urge not to succumb to just not doing anything. You fight for it to really look at your body and say, I'm worth it. You fight for it. You fight mentally for it just as well as you fight physically. But when you fight for it, you find that you're not fighting for everyone else. You're fighting for you. Because once you find that you fight for you, all things that you've in the past fought for, male friends, female friends, what is it called? Notoriety. Once those things are gone, you lose that drive to fight for something, but you always have you. So you fight for you. You only have you, and you have you every day. The other things pass away or they're in your life for a reason, a season, but you have you for a lifetime. So fight for that. And I found that I had to fight to not have the urge to go out there and do the strenuous exercises because I wake up the next day with the knee. It's like, what the heck did that come from? And then it's a setback. So you have to listen to your body and say, you know what? I'm still enough. I mean, I do or cannot, not, I'm limited to do what I used to do, but I'm still gonna fight for the urge to make this lifestyle a lifestyle and not a fad.
Yes. And it is true that the fitness industry and the health industry in general is full of fads,
Oh,
and people get sucked into those, and there's one after another. It's so important to, like you're saying, listen to your body, respect your body, know where you are in life and what works best for you. Do
mhm.
you have tips for people, or what has worked for you as far as individualizing and paying attention to what you need?
One is, of course, it starts from within, what you put in your body, because as you said, I've learned a lot from you, Dr. Cates. I've learned a lot. I promise you, you have taught me so much, especially from clean skin from within. And that's a whole book on that. But I've learned that clean skin starts from within. You're eating, but the largest organ that we have is your skin. And I am soul out. I am obsessed with my facial regimen. I would not give it up for anything because what you put in comes out, but when it comes out, you have to maintain it. You have to nurture it. You have to, enjoy it, cultivate it, welcome it, embrace it. And I say this because I didn't wear makeup after I started using your product. And I know that I'm saying this because there are women out there, such as myself. It was like, I have to wear this makeup. But when I started, of course, starting from within, and it showed on the outside, you have to maintain that. I love it. So I was like, I don't have to wear makeup every day. I don't have to, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And I embrace that. And of course, not wearing makeup also helps you look younger, makes you feel more confident. So I found that, for one, that I have to do, was to look at the things that I used to do, the things that I'm doing now, and look and say, how does that reflect on me? How am I doing that from within? It starts from within.
Yes, and thank you. I'm so glad that you love the Spa Doctor skincare line and that it's working so well for you. I mean, you already were looking fabulous, and I'm so happy that it just gave you that extra glow that you were looking for.
Oh, it does. It gives me that boost, boost.
Mhm. Yeah. And
Yeah.
what else? So would you suggest for people that are looking for ways to pay attention to their bodies to individualize? What about when it comes to exercise?
Well, as I pointed out before, body's different. Everybody has a different body, and you have to pay attention to your body. For me, I found that slowing down, as I said, less is best, but finding that consistency and not so much of the intensity, that, it's consistent. Because if you can do something for 21 days, if you can do things for 3 months, there's a consistency to it. I found that I didn't have to work out harder. And when I did, I found that I ate, and which was a setback. So looking at your body and really listening to it. Walking is so amazing. I rebound on my rebounder to get my cardio in. I love to swim. If you want that lymphatic system drainage going, you get those massages. And this is self-love. Get that deep. I get wood therapy and do your rebounding. I found those things that actually I'm able to recover when I work out. Those things help me.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and I think it is so important to listening to your body. And with you having high blood pressure, you may have noticed that some of that higher intensity stuff isn't really working for you anymore.
No, it's not. I did, and you know me, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna see if it still works. And I found myself in danger, of course, because I felt myself fainting, felt myself being really woozy. And then afterwards, I didn't feel that surge of energy that I used to feel when I would go and do those intensive workouts. I felt really drained, and I wanted to just sleep and not eat. And it just snowballed. So those things you have to pay attention to. It's not about, working out hard and you can't walk, you can't, you just out for the count. Listen to your body. You should be energized after you work out. You
That
should,
is
you should.
such a good point because when we do exercise to the point where we're completely exhausted, I think it's just, your body's giving you that feedback. Whereas if you're exercising and you feel energized, that that's a really good sign. Because and then you
Mhm.
can it's sustainable.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it just depends on where you are in life and your level of fitness. If you're just trying to get back in shape, maybe you had an injury and you had a setback and you're trying to get back in, you can't get in shape in a day.
No, I always say, it didn't take you this long. It didn't take you overnight to get to the point where you are now. Why do you think it's going to take overnight to get into the best shape of your life? it was progressive, the way you ate, the way you procrastinated in working out, your thought process, what you actually fed your mind, all of that took time for you to look in the mirror and say, this is where I am today. It didn't happen overnight. So you have to look at throwing away that microwave mentality, that magic pill in a bottle, and saying, this is a lifestyle. It didn't take me overnight to get here. So it's not going to take me overnight to get where I want to go. It's a lifestyle.
Yes, it is. And it's really about balance too, right? Because we also don't want to keep putting it off. Like, oh, I'll get in shape tomorrow. I'll get in shape next week. I'll get in shape when, or, I'll go get that gym membership when, and, keep putting it off because I know I've been there.
Yes.
Yeah. It's easy to come up with excuses why we don't have to exercise today or this week.
Tomorrow, you know what I found, and I found out the hard way. It was a funny joke. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow, we never see tomorrow. We never. It was, and I'm gonna do this fast. There was a time when I was at a track meet and we were traveling and we went to this barbecue place and they said, come back, free food tomorrow. And we were like, oh my gosh, this food is so good. We're coming back. And so our coach brought us back and we said, we're here for the free food. And she looked in the back and she said, got to come back tomorrow. And it's like, what do you mean tomorrow? We were here yesterday. He's like, nope, come back tomorrow. You can get free food. And I'm not kidding. We came back the next day. She said, tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes.
Yeah.
Never comes. We only have today.
Uh-huh.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, if I say I'm going to work out tomorrow, then I might as well work out today.
Right. Something. Yeah. I mean, even if it's just going for a walk or,
Yes.
yeah, getting on a spin bike or something, just spinning a little bit. Hey, there are definitely days that, and for me, it helps that I have a dog.
Wait a minute. I promise you, I was getting ready to say, I found in my research with lowering your blood pressure, dogs, animals.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true.
Uh-huh.
So yes.
Yeah, because she looked at me. I mean, she actually just opened the door and came in a moment ago. She looks at me and I'm like, oh yeah, we got to get out and we got to go for a walk. We got to get exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And so, things like that can help. And having a partner, somebody, it doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It can be
Right.
a friend that, like, I'm going to be at the gym at this time. Come meet me. And that you don't bail on your friend.
That accountability, it really helps.
Yeah.
That accountability, it can either come back to bite you or it can help you in taking on what you need to. Because once you tell everyone or your friends, it's like, you know what? I'm doing this as a lifestyle. When they see you are lacking, they'll say, hey, didn't you say that you were doing this? And it's like, oh, that's right. So that accountability helps.
Yeah.
You don't want accountability, don't tell anybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned stress being a big factor, and it shows up in our health in so many ways, including blood pressure, including skin problems, hormonal imbalances, so many things. What do you like to do to manage stress? What are your favorite things?
One is to stop and think, why am I stressful? And if I can control why I'm being stressed, then I'll take baby steps in taking on that. Okay. So the first thing you need to do is this. If that doesn't work, and it's like you don't have any control over what's going on right now, you need to just take care of you. Breathing has helped me so much. Meditation has helped me so much. And a lot of people think, oh, meditation is nothing. It is, it is amazing. I go out either outside, I face the sun if I want to, or I'll sit in my little closet and I'll just breathe. And of course, thoughts, everything's going to come up in your mind. You need to wash clothes. You've been sitting here for about an hour. You need to go eat. You need to eat. Everything is bombarded. But once you just say, I am well, this is for me. I'm letting go of all of negative thoughts. I don't hoard negative thoughts. Once you start to do that self-talk and you're relaxed, oh my gosh, you walk out like, I got this. But it's the small things that really count. Stress, it's a silent killer. It's a silent killer because it affects your organs. It affects ladies, of course, because we get that little pooch, cortisol. We actually create the cortisol. But stress, my trigger, my ways of really doing away with stress, breathing, praying, walking, and believe it or not, sipping on mint tea, just sipping on any type of herbal tea and just quieting yourself. I like to listen to quiet music, lighting a candle, and just being still, forcing yourself to be still. That's when you fight for it to be still.
No, it's true. Got to fight to extra, like get your mojo, your energy, but you also, to restore it, you got to fight for that quiet time. And
Yeah,
I think what you're talking about here is really important in that it's not selfish to take time for yourself.
no,
You're just going to be able to show up in a bigger and better way if you do take those moments to breathe
yeah.
and take in some sunshine. And yeah.
I remember a perfect picture of you when I was there for the conference. It was early morning and you were out in your by the patio facing the big Bellicon, I call it, the big trampoline, but it was just an open space and you were so calm. And I looked at you through my window and I said, I'm going to get there. I want that. I want that now because I was just going through so much. And I saw you just, and it was so evident that you were grounded, that you were at peace, that you were re-energizing yourself. And I was so envious. And I was like, I want that. Okay. And that's when I really looked at meditation and calming yourself. Because that day we had a lot going on and you were so calm. You were like, yes, let's do this. And I was like, ooh.
Yes, I had a house full of women. We were doing
Yes.
interviews nonstop. We had music and we had yoga, we had food, we had company,
And you
yes,
were even
hiking.
killed. Ooh.
Yes. Thank you. But it is one of those things. It's a choice. Like I
Yes.
woke up and I'm like, this is going to go well. And but I've got to ground myself. I've got to center myself. I've got to breathe. I've got to take some time for myself.
Yeah.
So you caught me in that moment
Yeah.
outside and breathing. You're like peeking through the window, seeing
I
me.
did. I was peekabooing.
Yeah. Like letting my dog outside, taking in some sunshine. And
Mhm.
it really makes a difference to take those moments. So I'm so glad you're doing more of that.
I am. I am. And they're the little things. They don't cost you anything, but they can cost you your health if you don't do it.
Yes.
So I'd rather do the free things that really aid and add to my life than to have to pay the price of just go, 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 go. Because you can't live that lifestyle forever. For a momentarily, you can stay on your grind, but sometimes you got to sit on your behind and just chill.
Yeah, who knew? And having a fitness expert come on, how we would end was you need to sit down.
Right. Take a seat. Take a seat.
We need breaks to fuel ourselves so we can go back out there and go for it. Well, Arnita, this has been so fantastic catching up with you. And tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram and where they can learn more about you.
Yes. Social media platforms, Instagram, be a champ _IFBB Pro. And then on Facebook, it is my name. I try to keep it simple, Arnita Champion. My website, arnitachampion.com. My Twitter, Arnita Champion 1. And my TikTok is for I am Z Champ.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Arnita.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait to come to that event. Can't wait to see you again in person. I see you glowing now, but I know it's gonna be evident when I see you in person.
Thank you for listening to the Woman's Doctor podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to share it with the women in your life. And to learn all about balancing hormones, join us for the Hormones, Health, and Harmony docuseries at thewomansdoctor.com.